When a child has refused to listen to his elders, or people around him trying to correct him, then he's preparing for his doom. Ejike's attitude recently has proven what wealth and fame can do to you if you allow it to control you. No matter how Munachi has tried so hard to help Ejike as a wife and a good woman, Ejike has refused to see her effort in trying to make things work around him. His arrogance is at its peak. Remember in the last episode what happened to Munachi, how Chinwe was against her bringing something to the village to support them. Ejike has threatened Munachi that he doesn't want to find her when he's going to the village to carry the mother's cup to bury in the city. Now, with that arrogance, Ejike has gone to the village, and of course, Munachi had no choice but to sluggishly follow Ejike to the village. On reaching the village with Ejike's friends, Ejike was hurriedly trying to get his people to the car so that they can go to the mortuary to pick up the mom. And then they discover that the cars can no longer start. I think this is the first one. Remember that sometimes, in fact, most times, the spiritual controls the physical, and that is what most people have failed to understand. Ejike was in front waiting for his friends to start up their cars so that they can hurriedly go to the mortuary, but then their cars refused to start, and Ejike came out. What is going on? We need to go to the mortuary right now. What is delaying you people? Can we go? And they told Ejike that their cars can no longer start. But then Ejike was like, what do you mean that your car cannot start? What is the meaning of that? That you know that your cars are spoiled and you have to bring the car on this journey. Why do you have to do that? And they tried to explain to Ejike that this thing is machine. It can have fault at any time. It's not their fault that their car got here and it can no longer start. But Ejike told his friends to come and join him so that they can go with his car. And when he got in to start the car refused to start. And I was thinking that this would have taught Ejike a lesson. How can 3 cars refuse to start at the same time? But Ejike refused to see beyond his pride, because his arrogance cannot allow him to see things. He was now like, why is this car not starting? What is the meaning of this? He went ahead to remove his coat and was checking the bonnet to see what he can do to make the car start. Brother, there is nothing wrong with your car. This is the spiritual telling you something, that what you're about to do now is wrong. You need to listen and pay attention to what is happening. Ejike refused, not knowing that the village youths are just close by watching him to see what will happen to him on this journey. They decided to come close to Ejike to ask him what the problem is, and Ejike asked them, are you mechanics? In fact, the village youths decided to accept that they are mechanics, and they tried to help Ejike to start the car. One of them got into the car and start the car just one hand. And Ejike hurriedly hopped into the car to drive the car and the car seized. They tried this like several times. And Ejike was like, what is the meaning of this nonsense? And that friend has told Ejike that this is beyond the physical, that this is no longer ordinary. But of course, Ejike doesn't want to even pay attention to anything like that. That he doesn't want to stress his brain. His friends should stop saying nonsense. That he doesn't want to stress his brain right now. Ejike doesn't know what is coming up for him. But then, immediately one of the elders whom he tried to bribe came in and told Ejike, so you think that you can actually do this? That he thought that by now Ejike would have been in the mortuary trying to carry the mother's cup to the city to bury. That why is he still here? The elder now told Ejike that you think you can come to this village, insult the elders, and carry your mother's cup to bury? Is that what you think? That I dare you to drive this car, that if you can move this car to the hospital, okay, that if you can move this car to the mortuary to carry your mother's dead corpse, then we are no longer elders in this village. And that was when Munachi was now trying to calm Ejike down. But Ejike has refused. Instead, he became so arrogant and was trying to insult the elders. And immediately the youth stormed in. How dare you speak like that to our elders? That in this village we respect our elders. How dare you talk to him like that? And he was slapped. And when he was slapped, the other youth came in and was like, young man, in this village we respect our elders. Ejike was not asking them, who are these? Who are these people? Who are these hungry people? Why are you even here? That they are hungry. And because they cannot take the insult from Ejike, they started beating him up. And this is where something happened that every other person has been telling Ejike, but he refused to listen. Daniel, his best friend, the one he sees as the best friend, ran away. He could not stand there to support Ejike or even try to prevent the youth from beating him up. He ran away with his wife into the car, and they were trying to start a car or order for an Uber to pick them. So all Daniel is trying to do is to send Ejike into a pit, and then he will run away. At this point, Daniel has nothing to say, no excuse. Why did you run away? The same people that Ejike thought would not stand for him or are not even supporting him were the ones who were trying to prevent the village youth from beating him up. You can imagine what has happened. The elder was just standing there watching them beat Ejike up. But Munachi had to run to the uncle to beg the uncle to come and stop the village youth from beating the husband. And Chinwe was like, if the village youth are beating up Ejike, then it means Ejike must have done something. So we don't need to go and help him. Why would Chinwe not reason with Munachi or Ejike? She committed the same crime by not coming back for the parents. But why is she channeling her bitterness towards everybody? The uncle decided to run after Munachi to save Ejike's life from the youths. And when he got there, he tried to stop them. But the village youths were like, no, we need to teach Ejike a lesson so that he will understand. They said, no, we need to teach Ejike a lesson so that he will understand that in this village, we treat our elders right and we have respect for them. And the uncle was not telling them that we know that you are trying to correct Ejike, but when you correct a child with the right hand, the left hand is always there for you to draw him close. That in this village, this is not how we treat our own. That you don't have to treat Ejike like this. We know he has committed a lot of crime, but this is not how we would treat him. This is not how we treat our own. And the other elder was telling the Ejike's uncle that is disappointed that he's coming to support Ejike. But at the end of the day, we are all humans and we should have pity for others. Even though Ejike has insulted the uncle so much that he would have turned his back on him, at this stage, the uncle could not. He has seen that Ejike still needs correction. But at the end of the day, he was able to stop the youth from beating him up. And they saw reasons with the uncle. But what has happened is that the village youth had decided to take over the case, that Ejike will no longer answer to the elders but them, that when they decide and settle, that is when Ejike will have access to the mother's cup. Ejike is in trouble. Since he has insulted the youth and has tested the wrath of the youth, I don't even know what Ejike is going to do next. They tried to pick him up. He has been wounded severally, and Munachi has been crying and decided to pick up the husband and the other friend who is always supporting him. Munachi took Ejike to the car and told him that he should sit down, that she's going to drive at this point. The uncle could not take it. He decided to leave. This is how the people who claim to support you, the people who are giving you the wrong advice that you think are your best friends, will desert you in time of trouble. It's the people who you think don't love you that will stand for you. I hope Ejike will learn his lesson at this point and do away with Daniel and listen to Munachi and the other friend who is giving him good advice, so that he will have peace. Remember, even the other car that was going to carry the mother's cup, the car refused to move. This is a sign that if Ejike continues this, there is serious doom awaiting him. Let's watch out for what Ejike is going to do. If he's going to listen at this point that all this has happened to him, or he's still going to continue being arrogant. If you have not liked the video up to now, please consider liking the video. And if today is your first time on the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want the full episode, please go to Mr. Aloy's channel to watch the complete episode. See you on the next one. Peace.